Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. Why do all these Wii U ports have to add subtitles to the original title? Well, I guess it's better than Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Wii U Edition. Anyways, when it comes to Batman, I don't have too much experience. I'm more of a Spider-Man kind of guy. But this game did get a lot of critical praise, so I guess it's enough for me to talk about it. So let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, this totally gets me in the dark superhero mood. One thing I forgot to mention is this game is a sequel to Batman Arkham Asylum. Oh great, is this gonna be another Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Wii U Edition experience? The story begins with Bruce Wayne making a speech and explaining why he is interested in politics, and more specifically Arkham City, which apparently is a part of Gotham that is devoted completely off to all the criminals and villains. Anyways, a group of baddies called Tiger come and kidnap Bruce Wayne and knock him unconscious. Later, Bruce Wayne wakes up and a guy named Hugo Strange reveals that he knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Ha! Next you'll be saying Clark Kent is Superman. So Bruce Wayne is kidnapped with a few other guys. One by the name of Jack Ryder. No way, Jack Ryder? Eventually, Bruce Wayne breaks out and changes into Batman, and then the game really starts. Later, it's found out that the Joker has some sort of disease and he plans on giving all of Gotham the same sickness. And to top it off, he also gives Batman the same disease. So Batman then has to find a cure. Whoa, I was able to follow through all that? It's a sequel, and I had no problem understanding the story. Boom! Take that, Tekken! I know I should probably leave Tekken alone, but... nah. With all that said, we can now talk about the gameplay. The game is both a beat-em-up, a stealth game, and also some puzzle solving. Sometimes you can jump into a group of baddies and take them down with no sweat. But other times you will have to be a bit more stealthy. At first I was like, come on, just let me beat these guys down. But after a while, I actually looked forward to these stealth parts and even found them more fun than just beating bad guys down. I'm kinda glad you have to use some stealth, since most fighting goes something like this. That's not to say the fighting isn't fun. It is. In some strange way. I don't know, I feel like I should be knocking the game for this. But I always get a sweet feeling of satisfaction when I just beat down a whole group of thugs. On the topic of fighting, this is where the Armored Edition comes in. There's a meter in the corner that fills up. Once it's full, Batman hulks up and his attacks do more damage. It is honestly kinda nice to have. Besides fighting, there's also a few puzzles you gotta figure out. They're usually not too difficult, but enough that I got a bit of a challenge out of them. They're not bad, but it certainly isn't no Zelda. They don't kill the excitement for me, but it doesn't enhance it. This is an open world game, so there's a lot of traveling, which isn't a bad thing, since I found it fun just to fly around, beat up some enemies, and stop by a few side missions. The open world is something I do have to give the game credit for. Normally in open world games, like Assassin's Creed and GTA, all my time is spent in the open world, and not the main story. With Arkham City, it was the perfect balance for me. A nice detail I liked was your radio. While flying around, you can pick up voices from criminals in the city, and usually they're talking about what just happened in the story. It added a feeling of authenticity. Let's talk a little more about the side missions. They remind me a lot of Zelda. I don't know why. I just started looking over my script that I wrote a month ago. Ignoring my absence, the side missions are fun to do. I usually come across them by accident, which is annoying, but then I get sucked into them and forget what I was doing beforehand. One of the bigger side quests I found was getting Riddler trophies, which I believe unlocks some extras. I never really bothered with them. In fact, I usually find them when I'm trying to advance in the story. Don't get me wrong, the side quests are still fun. You also can occasionally get to play as Catwoman. It's okay and interesting to play as someone else and see the story from a different angle, but nothing all that special. I found the controls to work most of the time. You hold B down to run, and Batman will also climb over objects in his way. Sometimes I'm just trying to move fast and get out of the way, but Batman will sit atop of a guardrail for everyone to see. Speaking of people seeing Batman, how come these bad guys don't see him? Or better yet, why don't they hear him? I'm in this one room with little to no noise, and I swing around on my grappling hook, and none of these guys notice me.
Besides that flaw, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition is a really great game. The story is driving, the combat is addicting, the stealth is engaging, and the open world side missions are fun as well. The thing I like most about this game though, is you don't have to be a fan of Batman or even play the first game to enjoy this one. Yeah, you were waiting for the score. Well, I'm done with